The 10 Commandments of Teaching Phonics, Part 1.
Hello, dear educators. Thank you very much. You're welcome to the Ubuntu channel, whereby we always bring you the educational videos because we want to shape our children very well. I want us to look at what is called the contemporary 10 commandments of teaching phonics. The contemporary means the current, or let's say the modern. The modern 10 commandments of teaching phonics. You may start asking yourself why you may be teaching your children and your children are not understanding. Or you teach your children and your children do not understand. Because you are failing to follow the 10 commandments of teaching phonics. And today, I believe this one will be a very good opportunity for you to understand, to take note of the reason as to why your children are not reading very well today. When you are teaching phonics, it is very important for us to always take note of the steps in teaching phonics. Though we take those steps, there is also what is called the 10 Commandments of teaching phonics. So when we talk about the contemporary 10 Commandments of teaching phonics, in our modern world of today, we know that language is dynamic, of which language changes time to time. So there are other contemporary 10 Commandments of teaching phonics, of which when you follow these 10 commandments of teaching phonics, then your children will never suffer. Your children will actually know how to read faster than you think. Let us start with number 1, the first commandment of teaching phonics. The first commandment of teaching phonics is say each sound once and read the word. Number 1. So the first commandment when teaching sound or when teaching phonics to our children, what you must use or what you must observe is this one. The first one is saying, say each sound once and read the word. When you continue, you will find here it's saying that do not say anything before reading. What you need to make sure that is observed is silence. Make sure that your children are silent when in class, when teaching phonics. Because we know how stubborn our children are. Some children may know this sound and may say it from down there. You. If that person says, it will confuse class. So let us always tell our children to be silent when we are teaching what is called the phonics. Say each sound once and read the word. The second commandment says, do not use letter name when teaching phonics. Most teachers, when teaching reading, or let me say when teaching phonics, they like using letter names. But when you're teaching phonics, don't use letter names. For example, when I'm teaching this one, I am not supposed to say that this is letter E. No, you don't say E, but say E, 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 E. So this is E, and then you come here to E, D, to E, D, B, D, bed. This is how you can teach your children. Do not use letter name when teaching phonics. Don't mention the name of any letter to the child when you're teaching phonics. Make sure you use only the sound. That is it. The third commandment is saying that do not read to the children. So this is whereby you will find when a teacher is teaching phonics, like for example, a teacher may be teaching, let's say, the sound. Let me just use this one. This R, this R, R. The teacher is teaching this R. Now, as the teacher is teaching this R, you find the teacher has written a word like this for children to read. It may be difficult for children to read this word. So, what you should tell the children to do is, you are supposed to guide the children. You have written the word like this. You just tell the child that this one, we have this sound, we have this sound, we have this sound. Then they joined. For example, what is this sound? B. What is this? Ah. What is this? So let us join these two. B. Ah. B. Ah. We join them together. Ba. Again. Ba. Again. Ba. And then the last sound is So ba. Again. Ba. Ban. 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 So, like the way I've done, when you tell your children, let your children get to know how their mouths should begin and then how their mouths should end. Like for example, their mouth is supposed to begin with the sound b and then ends with the sound with the sound So you find here the children will start b, ba, 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 ban. This is how you can teach your children. Do not read to the children after writing the word like this. Even if reading the word is tough like what, or is difficult like what, don't read to them. The best thing you should do is you should break the word like this one. You break the word like this, and then you start guiding them. You let them read sound one by one, and then they form the word. That is how you can also teach your children. You should only read when children need your assistance. The fourth commandment says, when your children read the word wrongly, don't correct them. Show them their mistake. Here it says, the fourth one is saying, when your children read a word wrongly, don't correct them, but show them their mistake. So it's saying that, the fourth one is saying that when you give a child a word to read, this is the fourth commandment. When you give a child, or when you give your children words to read, when they read the words wrongly, don't correct them. What you are supposed to do is to show them their mistake. Like, let me come here. Like this one, you may ask your children to read for you this word. Your children may read as iwi, iwi, iwi. What you are supposed to do is to guide them. From which sound has this word originated? So you will see, you will just guide them. Say that word right, but let us first try to see something from here, my children. This one you have read it as iwi. Is there any sound? Is there anything like this one in sound? Is there anything like this one? Then they will start remembering what you have taught them. They will start remembering that, oh, this one the teacher taught us, and this one is sounded as you. So your children will now start bringing this E, and then they'll say, oh teacher, this is not iwi, but is you. Is what? You. That is how you can show your children. That's the fourth command is saying, when your children read a word wrongly, don't correct them, but show them their mistake. When you show them their mistake, make sure you try to guide them on how they can correct their mistake by themselves. Don't correct their mistake. When it has defeated them, then this is where you will come in to give assistance. The fifth one is saying that teach phonics in a separate lesson, but not as you are teaching English. When you're teaching phonics, when you're teaching your children phonics, make sure you teach phonics in separate lesson. Don't teach phonics together with English language or literacy. It's saying that number 5 is saying teach phonics in a separate lesson but not with literacy or English language. In phonics, there is no any issue of multidisciplinary. There is no any issue of multidisciplinary. You are not supposed to bring the way you teach your English in phonics. That is why we also find it so difficult for our children to understand when we are teaching them. Why? Because we normally go away from the way that we are supposed to teach our children phonics. Because this phonics, it has some guidelines, or let me say some ways to follow, so that for effective understanding of the children. For your children to understand very well, make sure you teach phonics as phonics in a separate lesson. Don't teach your children when you're teaching English. Don't teach them phonics and you expect them to know what you're teaching them very well. No, that one will not work when you're teaching phonics. So this is where we are going to end for today. In the next video, I am going to come back with from the 6th commandment up to the 10th commandment. May God bless you. Thank you.